Are you ready for today's training? Do you know what happens when you don't follow guidance?
Everything goes kaboom.
Stay tuned to find out. You've received guidance. Wait, do you know how to get guidance? Let's go through that first. You send us a question wanting to know.
First of all, what is guidance?
Guidance. That would be going to God or the Ascended Masters and asking them for help with specific situations. That's when you receive guidance.
No, so you're making it too technical. No,
Okay.
no, people get. You're asking for someone's opinion, aren't you?
For help.
Right.
Right.
So that's what you're doing. So imagine that it's not about God. Somebody could have a life coach. They could have a teacher.
Oh, well,
they
I
could
was
have a
talking about
mentor.
through 190 Vision. I wasn't talking about outside of 190
But you
Vision.
didn't say that.
Okay.
So how about if we continue down that line, that if you're going to discuss what guidance is, you might as well give the big picture first, right? And then get specific to 190 Vision. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we've said part of it, but if you want to summarize, that would be great. As in guidance, what? You can receive advice, that's what it is, from a mentor, right? From a teacher, somebody you trust, is the point.
Okay.
And people normally call it advice, mentorship, coaching. That's what they call it in what we consider the physical realm.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get to 190 Vision, we refer to it as what?
As guidance.
As guidance. And why do we refer to it as guidance?
Because we're relying on the guidance of the Ascended Masters or the angels, whoever comes through, to help give us the information necessary for whatever situation.
Right. And why do we prefer that instead of a life coach or a mentor, a human mentor? And they're great, by the way.
Because
right? Or a teacher.
In the spiritual realm, they see more than what we see. They see the bigger picture.
When you say bigger picture, what do you mean? Is that like a 20 by 30 or?
No, just they can see what will take place in our life based on the decisions we make.
Or more like they see what we've done in the past and
Okay.
what we need to do to fix it now.
And how to move forward to make things work for us in a positive way.
Right. So it's not they see the future,
Okay.
because remember in the spiritual realm there is no future.
All right. Everything is just happening right now.
Right. It's just that they know our entire life history.
Yes.
So who better to mentor you? Someone that sees you right now and they say, oh, you should do this based on their experience, or a being that knows your entire life history and knows what you're supposed to do to be more successful in what it is you're doing.
Well, I choose the being who can see my entire life.
And that's called guidance, because it comes from the spiritual realm.
Yes.
So that's why it's called guidance. Now, go back to what you asked initially. How do you get guidance? That's what you asked. And that's okay, let's start back to what guidance is.
Okay, so how do you get guidance through 190 Vision? So I can be very specific here. Most individuals will send us questions, and we get back to you with the level of benefit as for that situation for you.
I'd like to interrupt that,
Go ahead.
or interject, whatever you call it.
Go for
If
it.
someone just sends us questions, we are not going to check for guidance for them. That is not accurate. What are you supposed to do first?
Oh, you want me to take them through the whole process of filling out the
Process.
consent form?
You don't have to take them through the whole process. They just have to know that without a consent form, we're not doing anything for them.
Okay,
You
so
skip that part. Say if there's someone brand new just watching this video, just one video of 190 Vision, they might think all they have to do is send us questions.
So, I'm assuming you have no idea how things work with 190 Vision. Go to 190vision.com, click on the Help Me tab, and be sure to complete a consent form. At the bottom of the consent form is a place where you can, a text box where you can put in what it is you want help with. Whether it be something with physical health or if you would like to get some guidance, whatever it may be. Then you click submit and it comes to us. At that point, if there are guidance questions, I will go ahead and give them to my husband so that he can get the information for you. And we'll get back to you with a level of benefit for each thing for you.
It might not be level of benefit though. The guidance might not have anything to do with level of benefit.
Oh, true.
So just know that we'll get back to them with the answer to their question, pretty much. But they have to submit the consent form first. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's move forward.
Okay.
So now they request guidance, and guidance is given to them, and they don't follow it. Okay?
Right.
That's what this video is about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we've had many individuals who've done that. And they think, oh no, are the Ascended Masters not going to work with me now? Am I not going to be able to get any more guidance? Is my life going to be turned upside down? No, that doesn't happen. They respect our free will. They look at what we're doing. They know we didn't follow the guidance, but they will still continue to help us and guide us when we ask for it.
Don't look at me.
Oh, well, I thought that was very simple. I thought maybe you'd want to expand.
What do you mean I want to expand?
If there's anything else you want to add to it.
Oh, add to it. Okay. No. I just wonder why you said that their life, they might wonder, will my life go upside down? And you said, no, it might go upside down. We've seen where when someone doesn't follow guidance, their life, it doesn't go right. So that's highly possible.
Okay.
But it's not because the Ascended Masters did something, because they might be thinking the Ascended Masters got mad with them. That's why all these things are going wrong.
And that's not the case.
But why is that not the case? Now that's the part I'd like us to clarify, right? That if you don't follow guidance, first of all, if you get certain guidance, it's because the Ascended Masters looked at your history from all your past lives and saw the best option for you at this time. That's why you got that guidance. And of course, guidance is for, it includes everybody, right?
Yes.
It's not just for the person asking for guidance. Let's say, for example, you have a best friend and you're mad at that best friend. You're asking about guidance between you and that best friend.
Mm-hmm.
When the guidance is given, what will it include? Is it just for you, the person asking for it?
It's for the highest good of everyone involved in that situation.
Right?
Yes.
And I believe that's why people misunderstand guidance in many cases, because they're just looking at themselves. They want to know what will work best for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get the guidance, like, this doesn't sound like this is the best thing for me. Well, no. It's not the best thing for you. It's the best thing for you, your best friend, and everybody else that's involved in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, you might not think it's the best thing for you. But in the end, if you follow it, you'll realize that it is the best thing for you.
Correct.
Right? So that's what's important about following the guidance. And then if you don't follow it,
Mm-hmm.
then you're thinking, people treat this, their masters like human beings. Right? Like if you don't follow the advice of a good friend, normally they don't want to talk to you, they get mad at you.
Right. They say, don't come to me any longer for advice.
And you might even do the same thing. If you give advice and they don't follow your advice, like,
Mm-hmm.
what use are you coming to me? You don't listen to me anyway, right?
Right.
So people are used to that, so they're thinking, well, I didn't follow the guidance of the Ascended Master, so they're probably mad at me. They don't want to hear from me now. And so all of a sudden people don't want to update us because they didn't follow guidance. And so they think we're mad at them.
Right. And that's not the case.
Okay, why would we not get mad at them?
Because whether they follow the guidance or not doesn't really matter to us. It's what they do with the information they have to try and help themselves. And we're just here to go ahead and relay whatever information it is that they should be receiving from the Ascended Realm.
We're not attached to that information in any way, shape, or form, right? It's not that we don't care, but we give you the information, and that's the end of it.
You exercise your free will at that point.
So, because the Ascended Masters look at the best options for you and everybody involved, then of course if you don't follow it, in many cases, things do go wrong. Right? In the physical realm, we call it.
Right.
They start, and then for some people, they might really think that their world just went upside down. And then they might be thinking, well, am I getting punished now by the Ascended Masters? Is God punishing me because I didn't listen? How do you respond to that one?
And the answer is no, you're not being punished. You were just being given the, I'll say, easier path to take to help you in your life, but you chose not to take that. Instead, you wanted to go and do your own thing, which led to the situation that you got into, or the challenges that you faced.
Some people like the challenges, they enjoy them. So, so if you don't follow the guidance, then you're just saying, I like that. I like the tough stuff. Let me just go with the tough one. That's all.
I like a good challenge.
Like, just don't complain when it gets tough because that's what you chose. But then you also mentioned, I want to ask, well, does God, are they being punished? Some people think that God punishes people, and that comes from the Bible, right?
Right.
In the Bible, you know, he flooded the earth with Noah, right? Remember? Then he burnt down
Sodom and Gomorrah,
right?
Job was swallowed by a whale.
Exactly, right?
All these catastrophes.
Some people thinking God punishes people. No. All right? There are certain laws in place, and if we don't follow those laws, then there are repercussions. Just like if you see a sign for a speed limit. Speed limit is 65 miles per hour. You're going 90. If you don't get caught, then you think it's okay. But the moment you get caught, they're like, oh, I drive through here all the time like this. Why are you pulling me over? I drive this all the time. Well, you just didn't get caught, that's all, right?
Right.
And then you have to pay for a ticket. It's the same thing. The law is not punishing you. You chose not to follow the law.
That's right.
It's the same thing here. All right, so now that's what happens. So they might have some challenges, or things might be fine. That is if they choose not to follow guidance.
Right.
But we've seen situations where the individuals do follow the guidance, but things still go upside down, as I'd say, or didn't work out the way it should.
Or it seems like it's not helpful to them.
Right. So why would it turn out that way?
Well, first of all, I think it's their perception of the whole situation, because I used to think that when I received guidance and it didn't go the way I thought it should go, based on, this is supposed to be completely beneficial for me and my family, but it didn't happen the way I thought it was. So I think a lot of it might come from my expectations, my perspective of it should happen this way. And then also there's karma involved, and I have to balance the karma. So putting me in that situation would be the best way for me to balance that karma and be done with it. And if I chose not to go through that, I'd still have to balance it somehow. But I chose to go through that, and it didn't turn out the way I thought it would, because of course I was told it was beneficial, but I feel like it wasn't because of what I had to go through.
Okay. But if they look closer, they'll probably see the benefit of it later on.
Yes.
But in that case, though, you followed nicely. There's another scenario, though, where someone might follow it, but they're resisting. They're only doing like, but I really don't want to do this, and they have a bad attitude about it.
Yes.
So what happens in a case like that?
Well, then it feels like maybe in a way like a struggle, and it's, I have to do this, I don't want to do this, and it feels like you're constantly fighting to take a step forward or something like that. It just feels like a struggle because you're resisting it.
Feels like, well, it normally is a struggle. It turns into a struggle.
Yes.
But it's because of the frequency that you're putting out, right? Because of the negative attitude that you have towards what you're supposed to be, or you were guided to do. And that would normally come from you don't want to do it. It doesn't meet the expectation you have, right? Like, that's not what I want to do.
Right.
So why should I do it? But then you feel like you should because you want to be that good student, right? But you pretend to be a good student by doing parts of it, but as you're doing it, you're not really paying much attention to it, first of all, right? So you don't do a good job of it. So of course you're not manifesting properly.
Right.
Then we get the end result and say, why is it so hard? And why is it taking so long? Well, because you've been fighting it the whole time.
Right.
So going through the motions, there you go. Going through the motions is not the same as following guidance, is it?
No, it's not.
And sometimes we claim, or we think that just by going through it, well, since I have to do this, let me just do it, but I'll just get it over with.
Right, that's sometimes the attitude, and instead it should be, great, I'm going to go through this, I'm going to learn the lessons that I'm to learn from it, I'm going to, balance whatever I have to balance, and it will be good for everyone. It's a matter of changing your perspective, changing your attitude toward it.
And that's the thing, right? If you're asking for guidance, if you're requesting guidance, it's probably because you know that whatever guidance you get, it's for the benefit of everybody that's involved in it, in that situation. Yet still, you have resistance built around it. And even when you get the result, you're looking for the negative in it instead of the positive, because if you're following guidance with the right attitude, you know it's going to be positive. It has to be positive. So not following guidance then turns into maybe you experiencing some things that are quite unpleasant.
Right.
While the other way, you might follow guidance and then it does seem unpleasant, but then when you dig into it, you know why it's that way, and then all of a sudden it manifests into positive things anyway.
Right.
No matter what it is, even as you said, your perspective is that it's non-beneficial for you, the result. If you take a time and look at it, you will see that it happened for a good reason, and then here are the beneficial reasons as to why that happened. When you fight the guidance or you don't follow it at all, you could try to find a positive in that, but the only positive there, which is a good one, is what? This is a learning experience for me. Next time when I get guidance, even if I don't agree or it makes no sense, I'll just follow.
Right.
Because I know better now, right? So now the person doesn't follow guidance and they're getting all these results that are not so favorable.
Correct.
What advice do you have for them now? Do they just stay quiet and forget about requesting more help from the Ascended Masters or God?
No, I think they should accept responsibility and say, you know what? I didn't follow, but I want to get back on track. What should I be doing? And then ask for guidance on what to do from that point moving forward. Because the Ascended Masters will still come in and say, okay, so you didn't do that. Well, this is a situation you're in now. This is how you should approach it. They'll give a solution.
And again, they'll look for the best possible solution based on the scenario there and the amount of dharma that you have, right? It's not just based on the situation, it's also based on how much good deeds you've done, the light energy that you have, the positive energy that you have
created.
Saved.
There you go, like in a bank account.
You can't create energy, right?
Right.
But,
just you built it up and it's there for your
deposited,
use.
there you go. Right. That you have as credit for you. So they look at that and they say, okay, with all this energy saved up here or stored, we can do this. So here is what we suggest you do. And then you go ahead and do that, this time without screaming and kicking and resisting.
This time, be open to it, relax, and say, okay, let's go through this experience and see how everything works out.
That's correct. And that's pretty much it, I think. I think so. You want to summarize?
Well, I was trying to think of an example to give.
Main example, I can give two examples. And
okay.
I know you'll finish. We had at least two ladies. I know we've had more than two, but we had two ladies where they contacted us about relationship issues. In both cases, they asked if they should get intimately involved with the male person that they were interested in, right? In one case, a person hadn't seen this person or heard from this person in years, and all of a sudden the person appeared. If you remember, do you remember what I'm talking about now?
I think so.
And she asked the guys, and the response was, the level of benefit was not very good.
Right.
And I remember her responding. Do you remember?
But something about he's so nice, he's changed, things are really nice between us, we're getting really close.
No, that's when she sent the guidance. That's when she sent all that.
Oh.
So folks, just remember this. when you're asking for guidance, please don't give us details because none of it matters to us. You know, we're not the ones that give you guidance, or we deliver it to you, but it comes
Right.
from the Ascended Masters and God.
So just ask the question because all the details, they don't really
They don't matter
matter.
to us at all. So that's what she wrote when she was asking the question
Got it.
for the guidance. But the response was a very low level of benefit.
Right.
And then her response was, well, that's very disappointing. That's not what I expected. And we never heard from her again.
That's right, we didn't.
So you know of that one, all right?
Now I know who you are talking
And then the other individual, they were already, at one time they were engaged, right? And then the relationship, she was guided as, okay, listen, just go with the flow, see what happens, because they had talked about the relationship wasn't working, everything improved, then all of a sudden they agreed, okay, let's just go our separate ways, this is not going to work. And they were told, okay, listen, we're not together anymore, and she was happy, the whole thing. Next thing we know, she sent us a message, he wants us to get back together. Is this something I should do? We checked, and it was like very low. And she went and did it anyway. And then she kept updating us saying, oh, everything is going good. All of a sudden, we didn't hear from her again. Next thing you heard, she told you, that didn't work out. That was really a big mistake.
I don't recall that one.
That's the one that was living in the state where we are and then moved to a different place. And when they were here, they were together. And then from here, they split up. Never mind. That
That's
was
okay.
one space,
we
right?
got the
Right,
idea
you
of
get
the
the
story.
point?
Yes.
But in both cases, they were literally guided to not take it to that intimate level.
Right.
And they both decided to do it. And in each case, it didn't work out.
And then we have the one young lady who asked for guidance on relationship because she was involved with this gentleman and she just wasn't getting a good feeling about it anymore, and she got the guidance that the relationship was not beneficial, and she had said that she didn't want to accept that guidance, but she decided to, and then all of a sudden she was physically shown why that relationship shouldn't happen.
Okay.
So
Sometimes some people need hard evidence, right?
that's right. That's right.
So in either case, folks, just follow the guidance. Oh, it's
Yes.
like us today. We went out, and then we went, and then I said, you know, I've been wanting to go to the store, and it's a store we don't normally go to. And I said, for the last 2 days, I've just been feeling like we should go to the store. I said, I don't know why, because I know we don't go to the store. We hardly go there.
Right.
And then we walked in, and then
There were grapes on sale. And grapes that our kids like. Super sweet. And I was like, oh, well, there you go. They've been asking for fruit. Now we have
we
grapes.
got the grapes, right? You know, and we just follow the guidance. Well, we normally follow guidance.
Yes, we've learned.
Exactly. Right. So the bottom line is that if you don't follow it, it's good to follow it, but if you don't, then it's okay.
Yes.
Don't think that the Ascended Masters will get mad at you and not want to help you anymore. They'll still help you. And just come back and request guidance, and this time make up your mind to follow.
Right.
Okay?
All right. If you have any questions or concerns, be sure to let us know. Remember to subscribe and like this video. Join the Facebook group 190 Vision to connect with others on the same journey. Get help by visiting our website 190vision.com. Support the 190 Vision mission by clicking on the donate button, which is at the bottom of each page of our website.